Hello, Speedgaming 4. How are y'all doing today? We have a pretty cool race coming up here. Should be pretty hype. Drewski versus imyt. And they have been given the go-ahead to start off, so we should be seeing them start shortly. I need to see if we need to click a button, because I forgot to do that. No, we're good. Okay. So yeah, I am joined on commentary today by Val. Val, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Had a decent day, got some ramen. Been just twitching in my seat waiting for this race.
Nice.
So excited.
Sounds good. Yep, so this has the potential to be a really close race. As with any percent race, it could also not be close. So let's just cross our fingers. Let's cross our fingers for a good close hype race. Good luck to both runners, of course. Either of them could absolutely pull a win out of this. So a little bit about Drewski on the left. He's a relatively new runner. He's been pursuing speedruns in Super Metroid for a couple years now. He is, I would say, probably in terms of like, I call it micro movement, he's probably the most talented player I've ever seen. He has incredible just micro movement, just, you know, like figuring out how to optimize the tiniest jumps and wall jumps and all sorts of stuff.
All those little frame perfect tricks and
yeah,
slipping right by those enemies, and you're like, how did he not get hit there?
He currently has the bombs RTA world record. That's not a category on the leaderboard, but it's something that we kind of keep track of. He has a low 436 bombs time. It took me multiple years to get a 437, like grinding for it super hard. So the fact that he has a low 436 is crazy. Additionally, you may be aware that he is the only human who has completed a Bomb Chorizo skip on NTSC from start to finish in the room. So that's pretty nuts as well. I did see him kind of grinding that earlier, so I'm wondering if we're going to see him go for it in this race. He has said over and over and over and over that he will not be going for it in runs. I don't know if I believe that, but
we've seen him actually go for it in races in this tournament already. So he's already a little lion there.
I think his motivation there is he wants to do it in a live setting, but not necessarily on a PB attempt.
Yeah,
but you know,
sure.
I mean, maybe he's just changed his mind. You know, I mean, that happens all the time. So. So yeah, on the right side, we have imyt. Imyt has been speedrunning this game for quite a number of years at this point. Super hardcore, any percent grinder. Been really pushing it for a long time. Not quite as hard more recently, but he's certainly a very accomplished player. He has a 41. I forget his exact PB, but it is a 41. And
41.52.
He also was one of the 4 racers at SGDQ for any percent this past year, just a couple months ago. So imyt is also very talented, very accomplished, and both of these runners, both of these racers, definitely deserve recognition, and they deserve your follow if you like seeing awesome Super Metroid content. So.
So yeah, we've seen, to open this up, nothing too unusual going on. They both had I didn't catch the Sarah's times, but they had a smooth enough exit out of that. We do have matching yellow morphing balls. It's always fun to see whether they match or not. And Drewski with just a little bit of a lead going towards missiles, but I was looking earlier at their just PBs and other breakpoints and stuff between the two runners. I would say it was kind of a casual afternoon. Go look up some info for the race tonight. And imyt's PB is 41.52. and Drewski's is 41.05. But like Zenny was saying earlier, don't let that fool you into thinking that this is, a definite Drewski win or anything, because with these any percent races, any percent thing can go wrong in either direction. We've seen a lot of races that'll just end very abruptly for one racer, or will go back and forth. Had some really fun tight races. Good damage boost on both sides getting through the pits here, although Emmett taking a little more time in the pits than he probably wants to.
Yeah, Drewski did mention he's been having some trouble with his D-pad recently, so he was kind of worried about that, giving him some grief here in the early game, which is understandable.
Could have fooled me.
Yeah, regardless, he's still doing incredibly, honestly. Also, as mentioned, so he does have a 4105 PB, which is and taking a
oh
hit there.
No,
that's rough. Yep. So here's Drewski going for the BT skip. Looks like he decided he messed it up, so he just went ahead and grabbed it instead. So yeah, that exact thing actually is why currently I don't think there's any runners planning on grinding for BT skip in PB attempts, because you have to do a specific setup for it, and the fact that you're pretty much never going to actually get it means that setup just loses you time. So, but still, good on him for trying to do that. That's super cool. What was I saying? Oh, so Drewski has a 4105. The thing is, so any percent is already pretty volatile as a category, right? It's really difficult to get what you need to go fast in a lot of situations. And the other thing is that, like I mentioned, Drewski is extremely talented at this game, but he also is newer. He's a newer player, and so he is lacking some of that that time and experience in the game. And that's not, to be clear, I'm not talking down on him for that. It just adds a certain level of volatility to his run performance, which can, that can leave a little bit of room for imyt. This is not me trying to commentator's curse or anything. I like I said earlier, I think either runner has a really strong chance of winning this. And if I'm being completely honest, I think Drewski has a really strong chance of getting the best time in the tournament so far in this race, just because of the nature of the way that he plays. But we'll just have to wait and see. That was a little scary with imyt's missiles there. I thought he.
I was gonna say I just about thought that he missed one on the door that would have been absolutely tragic with right at the corner of that door, but he did get it. A smooth roll through to get those early supers. On the experience difference, do you think that where do you think that makes the biggest difference? Is it in being able to adapt because a more experienced runner or someone who's been in this longer, has more instances where something went wrong and they just had to keep going? Or do you think that it's like being creative about different setups? What do you think the experience or what do you think the lack of experience hinders Drewski in the most, or the greater experience would help another runner?
Part of it is adapting to any given situation. I think you're right about that. The other thing, and this was really hard for me to swallow for a long time, and it still is in some ways. If you haven't played the game as long as, say, like Zost or Behemoth or Oates or whoever, inherently you're just going to have less consistency with the way that you go through the run, and that is not to say that it's because you haven't tried hard enough or put in enough hours of practice or anything like that. Drewski grinds harder than anybody I know, but it's just this weird thing where if you haven't put in as much time, you're just going to have a lower overall level of consistency. But that doesn't mean that you can't still pull off a crazy good run, as evidenced by the fact that he has a 4105 with I think less than a fifth of the total play time that I have in the game. Like it's
wow,
it's just crazy. he did. He went for Ripper Skipper there at Red Tower, and he made it past the Ripper, but unfortunately his shot didn't hit that top block, so he had to go back down. And that's too bad. But imyt is doing a really good job of staying on his tail, despite the fact that Drewski's early game is so strong. So I definitely need to shout that out here.
Yeah. imyt had a pretty good Red Tower climb overall, did take one little hit as well, but was really able to keep on the wall jumps so that he didn't have a second fall down. And yeah, shout out to him on that. That was very impressive to keep those tight wall jumps. And move up. Yeah, he is not letting this race get away from him at all.
So coming up here, we have the great equalizers of the run, I think is what Hockey Towner likes to refer to them as. So we have the moat, and then immediately after the moat, we have Fantoon. So let's see how the moat goes here for Drewski. He missed that first jump. He's going to back it up. Okay, he has a shot. He has a shot at a CWJ here. Okay.
And lands it.
I wasn't sure if I saw a potential issue with his setup there, but yeah, excellent backup there from Drewski, and imyt making it across as well with a horizontal bomb jump. So really good moat from both runners there.
I've seen more bad moats than I would expect at the higher end of the bracket here, but it's like you said, it's one of those great equalizers Hockey Town talks about. And another instance of a great example where an 80% run can just go a pixel wrong and send you down onto the wrong side or slow everything down. And here comes the other one with Fantoon and all of RNG. So get the gambas in, right?
Yeah, moat can give you issues no matter how much time you've put in, no matter who you are. It's just one of those things. I'll try to remember to talk about that a little more in just a minute. Let's focus on Fantoon here for a second.
We'll get fast.
Yeah, we have a right fast. Drewski does not go for off-screen one round, so he opted to just do the air Doppler there, which is a pretty good call on his part. It's a really fast way to handle that pattern. Okay, excellent. So we have a 2-round fast mid, both on screen for Drewski. That kill time is actually pretty insane for a race here.
Yeah, taking advantage of the fast mid. Perfect situation by Drewski where it's here's the opportunity. The boss and the RNG are going to play in your favor. And I think he knows that was really good because he took the time to get all the ammo, not rushing straight out the door and just grabbing what he could. imyt opened up with a slow and had a bad Doppler to start, but he's doing really well in that second Doppler. Help make up for it.
Yeah, nice backup there from imyt. I do need to shout out imyt. He is one of our most accomplished one-round Fantoon players. He was the first one to get it in an RTA setting, as far as I'm aware. I was already working on it as well, but I hadn't done it yet. We've both done it hundreds of times at this point, and there's other runners that have also sort of mained it as well. But the fact that imyt's first Doppler failed so early, and the fact that he was able to back it up with that second one is really a testament to how consistent he is with it. So unfortunately, because of the disparity in their patterns, that does put a bit of a gap between Drewski and imyt, but just remember it's not over until Samus is on the ship. So
yeah, Drewski's going to take the time during bowling to text Fantoon to check PayPal. It was a good addict by Drewski. He had a really nice missile shot and then took advantage of the D-boost to push left really fast. imyt didn't quite get that, but his was good and smooth too. And bowling one of the first few times when you can go and refill your water and check the mail and
yeah, bowling is one of those sections where you think you have time to get up and go do something, but you kind of really don't. Like if you have a glass of water right next to you or something, it's a great time to take a drink. But outside of that, I think the cutscene is like 20 seconds or something like that. So
yeah, we meme about it, but it's not like it's a shock tool or anything.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about their resources respectively? Imyt sitting 4 supers down. Both of them at same energy.
Yeah, so Drewski is in a really, really good spot here. The only thing that he is lacking in at all is power bombs, and he's going to be fine. Even if he were to decide not to farm any, he would still be fine. He would just, potentially lose a couple seconds. Imyt's in an okay spot. His super missile count is a little low here. So I think what we're gonna see, we will see Drewski opt to skip the Kakatak farms, coming down the Red Brent Star here, and I think we'll see Imyt get those farms. It's about a 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds difference to farm or not farm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you see Drewski skipping the farms there. Definitely a wise call on his part. The question is whether Drewski will farm the B-Tom on the way down here for the power bomb or not. Okay, so he is opting to do that. Again, it's not necessarily required, but you really want 2 power bombs at this point in the run. You're gonna see Drewski, so he's gonna grab Spazer, and then looks like Imyt is farming here. Yep. So Drewski's gonna grab Spazer, and then he's gonna head on down to Norfair. And on his way to Norfair, he's going to break the glass tube with one of his power bombs.
Mm-hmm.
And then after he collects high jump, he's going to use another power bomb on his way out of that room. Not having a power bomb for either of those situations is going to be a time loss. And so that's why our runners want to have at minimum 2 power bombs here. That was a little scary there with Drewski, the way that he broke the glass, but it worked out for him, so that's good.
He's been doing. I think it goes back to, like you said, him being so masterful in the micro movements, because there have been a few times where he moves so fast, it almost looks like he's moving too fast. Like he's going to lose control at some point. Mm-hmm. Something may go wrong. And he just executes it perfectly. He just pulls it through. Like after the fact, it looks as though he knew it was going to work out perfectly the whole time. Maybe he does. But leading into some kind of movement, like with the breaking the glass and whatnot, it's that one moment where you're tense and you're wondering, oh, is this gonna go wrong? Is this gonna work out?
So the reason I said it was kind of scary is because he was really close to the door transition when he shot to break the glass. If you frame perfectly shoot as you enter the door transition, after the power bomb has touched the tile to break the glass, it's actually a soft lock. Samus will spawn the next room, but she'll be stuck. She can't move. So,
jeez.
So yeah, it was a little scary there, but like I said, it worked out. Drewski did have a little trouble with Business Center on his way down.
Yes.
I didn't see how Imyt's movement was there, but he was struggling at the beginning of Red Brent Star on the way back down. So probably seeing about the same amount of time between them currently, just based on the mistakes that were made. Maybe Imyt may have lost a few seconds.
Titan mockball from Drewski coming out as they wave to each other. Imyt did fire off an extra super missile just down Business Center.
Like he missed one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It looked like it just went flying off. It looks like he may have just picked one up too, though. So I think he's going to end up being pretty okay for it.
Yeah, Imyt's resources are looking a lot better now than they were a few minutes ago. Drewski's resources are also still looking very, very good. We have Bubble Mountain coming up here. That's something that can really throw a runner. I'm not sure why Drewski mocked in there. That was interesting. Okay, so he missed the right side wall jump. Immediately opted to just back it up by freezing that waiver. Not too bad. Getting up through Batcave here, and you're going to see Drewski with his masterful Zoden pumps here. So the Zoden pumps are the thing that he is so good at that actually has enabled him to be able to do those bomb chorizo skips that were mentioned earlier. And done properly in Speed Booster Hallway, compared to an average person's arm pumps, they can save like half a second. So it's pretty crazy.
That's a huge gain, considering, yeah, that's like a half second doesn't sound like a whole lot, but compared to just your regular runner, well, not regular runner, but compared to the higher end speed runners, he's still gaining a half second on top of that just from his arm pumps.
Yep. In that room, yeah. So pretty crazy.
Wild.
Oh, that's rough. So if you fall down here, yep, this is exactly what I was afraid of. The platforms continue to go up and down as you activate them, which can really screw you up trying to jump back up. That exact thing happened to me yesterday. So that's pretty rough. I imagine he's probably feeling pretty frustrated with that mistake now. Just because I know he was on a pretty dang good pace after that fan tune and the movement that he's had since then. I don't know if it was quite PB pace, just because he struggled a little bit in the early game, but it was a really good pace, and that was an unfortunate mistake there. So
yeah, I think it was a bit behind his PB, 20 to 30 seconds. Just kind of glancing at chumbarks that I have written down.
Yeah.
But he's still moving really well overall. Emmett also still keeping up as best he can, still grabbing that wave beam. And
it's interesting. Opting not to damage boost off those spikes must be a health conservation strat there. I wonder how much slower that is. It's probably a really good choice for a race scenario, honestly. Sorry to cut you off there.
No, it's all good. I was going to mention that Emmett's resources have looked really good out of getting Wave Beam, but we've got a Lava Spark coming in here from Drewski, just super clean. Pulls that off like it's nothing.
Yeah, very nice Lava Spark there. All right, and you see Drewski disabling his beams going down the elevator. So the reason for that is so that he can do X Factor attacks on Ridley. To do an X Factor, you have to have just Wave Beam and Charge Beam enabled, and you need Power Bombs. Very nice Lava Spark from Imyt there.
I thought he was a little too far left, to be honest.
And Imyt also opting to swap his beams. So the thing about X Factor fights with Ridley, optimally, they are a little faster than beam-only fights. But there is a little bit of RNG involved, which can make them worse overall. It just kind of depends on how you handle the situation and what kind of movement patterns you get from Ridley. So it'll be interesting to see. That's another point in the run where things can really change for our runners, especially depending on how much energy they have leaving the Ridley fight, and whether they decide to pick up the Ridley tank can also be a big factor in the pacing of the race. So
we've seen a lot of runners in these race matches going for that extra tank, whether because they feel like they've been doing well enough, or they just want to play it safe, or a mix of the two. A lot of people have been getting that extra tank.
Yeah. And up until this point in the tournament, I think it's kind of made sense. I think we're about to the point in the tournament where we might see some players playing it a little more risky in regards to that. But if Drewski is watching the race, I would imagine he'll probably still opt to grab the Ridley tank. Unless his fight goes very poorly and he has really excellent energy afterwards. So we'll just have to see.
Oh, and he's going in 4 PBs, 10 supers, looking really healthy against Ridley. Imyt landing through the Pirates and good speed through. So okay, that's 1, 2, 3. Did he get triple quad on those 4 sets on the X
Yeah,
Factors?
so
Wow.
that was pretty much a perfect X Factor setup for Drewski. So we'll see how he handles the rest of the fight here. There's about 9 shots left. Played it safe there. Really excellent fight. That was a really excellent Ridley from Drewski. Honestly, top tier performance there. So we'll see what he decides to do here. Yep. So I would have made that same choice there, especially with that energy amount. So yeah, looking at imyt, I'm not sure how imyt's fight has gone so far.
imyt's fight has been pretty good. He landed, I believe he also landed a 4X. I think maybe one of his X Factors didn't hit with all 4. But one more super has gone off to the side.
Rough. Yeah, I think he Kojak 2 supers right there, which is 4 additional charge shots that he'll need to connect. So I think, yeah, okay. You can tell he's a little frustrated with that. But I mean, again, if I'm being honest, like, he survived with a healthy amount of energy here. All right, and he is opting to skip. Okay, so he's trying to make up some time on Drewski, I think is the play there. And that I'm not criticizing. I mean, it makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think especially when you know you're in a race situation and you ended up with like that slow fan tune and you've had a couple slips here and there. He's probably feeling like he needs to make up some time, and that's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
If he's got good clean plays, he shouldn't need that energy tank. And he's been playing incredibly well in a lot of respects. It's a super missile off here or there is not going to destroy our run. He is still really, really close to Drewski. And the way that he's performing, it's only going to take a slip from Drewski on something going wrong. It's within a baby skip of each other for sure. That's not a good hit for the Key Hunter.
Yeah, there are still a lot of things that could happen to Drewski to kind of equalize the race. imyt is in a little bit of a precarious situation here. I was gonna say just a minute ago, he should be okay exiting, but it's a little bit scary.
Yeah.
Keep a close eye on this Three Musketeers here.
This is definitely hold a breath. Whoa.
Okay.
We can all breathe again.
That's good. Okay. So yeah, imyt is in health bomb range. That is not really an issue with the other resources that he has. So a lot of the danger is over with for imyt. Again, there's still a lot of things that could happen in this run. So, you know, don't go anywhere just yet.
Yeah, again, it's a testament to imyt as a runner that how close he is keeping this race, because Drewski's moving, but imyt is not slowing down in the slightest either. He is just as close as he could be without being actually ahead or just, you know, synced up. And I think that it's still anybody's race. There are too many things that could go wrong. We're 27 minutes into this.
Yeah. There's a lot of time left. You know, runners can miss a crate quick kill. They can, you know, get scammed by Botwoon. Dragon is a thing. Metroid
Full
drops are a
halfy,
thing.
no halfy.
Full,
God,
full halfy.
Yeah, everything with Metroid drops, Torian RNG, baby skips.
Mother Brain fight. Like there's
all of Mother Brain, yeah.
It's not over until Samus is on the ship again.
Absolutely.
To be super clear.
Drewski's Varia timing on his PB is 27:12, and he got that right about 28 minutes. So right now he's on pace for just under a 42-minute finish, I believe. Still doing super, super well.
Yeah, really, really excellent for a race setting.
Emmett just shooting down, trying to get rid of some more stuff, get the game loading faster. Not going to take the damage to get Samus on every other frame render. Maybe just wants to take it easy on his health. Didn't get that extra E-tank.
Yeah, so the thing about Emmett's health here, he doesn't actually have enough to do a Shine Spark through Mount Everest without putting himself in a very dangerous situation. And I think the reason he chose not to damage down on Kraid is because it would have made it even more difficult to get what he needed.
Mm-hmm.
I personally choose not to damage down on Kraid for that exact reason many times in any percent. So.
So health aside, Emmett's resources, his ammo, looking good coming out of this.
Yes, Emmett's ammo is exactly where you want it to be in this situation. I mean, ideally you'd have one more super, but this is nothing to really complain about necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
So he did get some energy there. We'll see if he decides that's enough to Shine Spark or not. The thing about this amount of energy is that if you take a hit from Botch Wound, things can go very wrong. So.
Speaking of, we get Drewski on it. Lines up for the X Factor, and
Nice
easy.
Fight.
Very nice
so
fight.
Drewski did a morph X Factor there. He did it a little bit differently than I. Oh,
no Yahtzee.
Okay. That can be scary. If you fall in the sand there, that's really
Yeah.
bad. So, many players do what's referred to as the D factor, but it was never consistent for me. So I came up with a morph thing, and looks like he did a kind of a variation on that there. I believe Aussie also had a morph setup that he came up with a while ago that was also different, but that's one of the things that's so cool about Super Metroid is just how you really can. Oh, okay. Okay.
All right, just the one super.
So,
there we go.
This is exactly what I was talking about when I was saying if you take a hit from Botch Wound with the amount of energy that Emmett has, things can go very wrong. So I'll take the blame for that because commentators curse. But yeah, there's a lot of different styles of play that you can choose for yourself with Super Metroid speedrunning, and I think that's one of the things that's so cool about it. So.
Mm-hmm. Emmett did nail the Yahtzee. Hey, he looks a little unsure on the full halfie. Nope. Oh, it's the halfie though.
Very nice Dragon fight from Drewski. Oh, that's rough. Going for the backup there, not quite getting it. Opting to just leave. Okay, good call there.
Unfortunately, Emmett is really lacking on super, so he had to take his time on the boss door. But he's got plenty of missiles to take these turrets down, plus the PBs with wave for the X Factor. Make this Dragon fight clean, simple, and keep pushing forward.
Yep, so both of our runners are opting to do the traditional Rain Dance X Factor setup here versus Dragon. It is slower than the other methods, but it's also much more consistent. Emmett looked frustrated with that positioning.
Those swoops get so fast.
Okay, the Shine Spark there was making me nervous.
Yeah.
All right, Emmett did get Spike Suit. He is opting to collect drops here from Dragon, which is a good call. Okay, so that puts him in a good situation with his resources.
A little bit of extra farm here from Drewski. No, I thought he was going to wait for that next set of bugs.
Yeah, I think he just missed the unmorph there. That's what happened. But yeah, Drewski's resources are also looking really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Drewski also has the extra energy tank buffer here, which is again one of those things that it could make the difference. But we'll just have to wait and see.
One thing that I've been very impressed with the runners on is how little they're hesitating in a lot of what they do. There are times where, like, you're going through the mock droid room and you have to drop, turn, get your stutter set going. Or how they're pivoting in such ways they're moving through platform to platform. I know I'm speaking very generically because I'm trying to think of the instances and my brain's not coming up with it. But their movement feels very definitive. They know what they're going to do. They know what they're going for. They're not hesitating in how they're moving. And that confidence with the precision is always so impressive about this.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to make it clear, I feel like I keep saying this, but despite the disparity in our current runners' paces, both of them have played phenomenally well in this race. Especially given the circumstances. So, in any race, there's going to be mistakes, and in most races, there's going to be mistakes that you really hate. It's just how it is. But I personally feel like both of our runners have put on an excellent performance here. So,
Imyt's getting through the criteria round 2 very, very well. Got speed booster and speedball, speed booster and parlor to get through the wall. He's getting to G4 a lot faster than you'd think. It's just like he's already here. It feels like already it was. Oh, Metroid's freezing onto Drewski for a little bit. That's fine. All part of the calculation. All part of the plans. Yeah, Imyt's moving very, very well. They're both just so impressive with this. I say that. Is this cast? Are we caster cursing them? Is that what's going on? Talking about it, and Drewski's getting hung up with a Metroid or two in his face. Turian is... With speedrunning, there are a lot of games where people will say, hey, this is the hardest part, and you're like halfway through the game. And then they go and they say, okay, it's all downhill from here. This is easiest. I think Turian is one of the few instances with a speedrun game where the end is just like, you thought Ridley was hard. You thought landing everything on Dragon was hard. No, this is actually where the run gets hard. This is where things can absolutely go south between all the RNG drops and everything. Drewski's looking good on his resources, looking great on his ammo. But the Metroids don't play nice with you. They don't unstick on a bomb. Any number of things that start to shave off seconds. And that really, really adds up. Baby skip for Drewski here at 1-2 and goes right on through. That was very clean.
Should be good there. Very clean.
Yep. With that done, it does begin to feel like we can say this is his race to lose. But Mother Brain and all of her dishes, the onion rings, the meatballs, the ketchup. I always have a laugh at how it's all very food themed. Chef Mother Brain and her mini dishes.
Imyt had a little trouble with the Metroids there in Metroid Room 4, but his resources are looking good.
Very, very slick step skip by Drewski.
No turret scams. And baby skip from Imyt here. Very nice skip.
Good Zeb skip on Emmett's part. Hopefully he doesn't get any turret scans. I just got to get past these hot rings. Mother Brain playing fairly nice for Drewski. Doesn't feel like... okay, the commentator's curse, man. I'm gonna shut up. Y'all just want to watch some Super Metroid? Let's just watch some Super Metroid.
Keep your mouth shut, Val.
On the other hand, if there's someone that I'm gonna curse...
Val's trying to pull a Drewski on Drewski here. That's what's going on.
What? Nah, never.
All right.
Yeah. Can't confirm, Eddie. No catch-up for Drewski.
Drewski has officially cleared the fight. Keep an eye on Emmett here.
Seeing those onion rings a little too tight for comfort, but he's moving around them well. And he is desperately trying to curse Drewski in chat.
I was gonna mention that as well. A little late on that jump from Emmett to avoid the catch up, but he's good as well. So.
Question for you, Zenny.
Yeah.
Escape hits. What's your thought on like where you can screw up the most?
Leodoc's room.
Oh, just instant
No
answer.
question. Yeah.
No doubt.
So that's room. Let's see. First room is the hallway. The second room is on the way down. Room is the one you do the shine spark in. It's the fourth room in the escape. It by far has the most technical movement. And any mistake can lose you multiple seconds. You can accidentally whiff a wall jump. Your D-pad, if you're playing with a D-pad instead of a hitbox, Eddie can make you morph. Can make you morph out of a wall jump and prevent you from doing the wall jumps that you need to continue through the room. You can miss your moonfall. Like there's just so many things in that room that can just ruin a run. I have seen people, including myself. Oh no, the curse is happening.
I'm sure this is fun. This is fun.
I have seen people lose literal world record pace runs in this room, in Leodoc's room, and PBs. You know, it's just something that happens. I almost lost my current 100% run in this room. Like it's just it just is. It's just one of those things. So yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh. Oh. Is Eddie on comms? Am I Eddie now? Is Eddie on comms? Cast curse in this?
Oh, that is. There's no way. Okay, Drewski had to be reading chat. He had to be reading chat. He had to do that on this. There's no way that just happened. All right, GG to Drewski with a high-ish 42 finish there. Would have been a lower 42 if not for some comments made in the chat by someone. Imyt finishing strong here as well. From what I saw, pretty clean Leodoc's room there.
Yep, very clean. And a good transport up through.
And GG to imyt as well with a mid 43. Excellent performance from both of our runners here.
Really, really stellar stuff. Very great race. Lots and lots of fun to watch.
So let's see if we can get them in here for an interview. We are joined by Drewski. Welcome, Drewski. GG.
Thank you. Mike, okay? Everything?
Yeah, everything sounds good. Before anything else, were you reading chat?
My chat or SG Live chat?
SG Live chat.
I was not. I don't watch any restream or anything.
Your escape, literally Eddie's fault. By the way,
I'm not sure. It's my D-pad. It's my D-pad. I blame Eddie for my D-pad. How about that?
Okay, yeah, we can go with that.
Hitbox viewer.
What's up, imyt? Thank you for joining for the interview. GG.
GG's.
Did you hit Rip Escape?
No, but I went for it as promised.
I did too.
I hit like every time I practice. I was like, "Oh, we'll get this for sure."
Yeah, I'm like,
instant fail.
I just missed the shot. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
classic.
Yeah.
Before we jump into the specifics of either of your runs, I just want you to know I genuinely feel like you both put on an excellent performance today.
Thanks.
I'm sure you both were feeling pretty frustrated at various points on the run, and that's it's just how races are. You know, stuff just happens. So
yeah.
That being said, Drewski, how did you feel about your run? Looked like you were on a pretty good pace for the first half or so. Outside of a kind of a weaker early game for you, but
double chamber was so silly. I fell in double chamber. I just couldn't get back up, and I was like, "Oh, there goes like 15 seconds for like no good." And then I just replaced my D-pad, and the down input has just been. I didn't test it at all, so I morphed into Bubble Mountain, which I've never done. So I was like, I don't even know what to do here.
I commented on that. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing there.
I don't know what I'm doing either, man.
New strats are being formed.
Evidently, I guess. And then I missed my charge for full halfy, like it didn't store, and then it blew my spike suit when I got, or like my blue suit when I was trying to go for spike suit, and then it didn't store before Leodox, and then it didn't store in climb in the escape, and I was like, man, this downright is just bad.
Yeah. So
other than that, though, anyway, so back to my run. imyt, don't listen to him. imyt just bought console 5.
Yeah, I want to try him out. Ago.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm not too upset though. I'm trying to have fun while doing these races, and I had a really fun time doing this. I had a sick Ridley fight, so I was really happy about that. It was a 67.
I sort of did, and then some funny things happened at the end of it. I actually was like, I'm like, man, is this one of my best Ridley fights ever? And I was like,
it was one of my best.
And then like at the end, I had 3 supers to hit on him, right? And I just like shot them all into space and like against the walls. And I was like, oh, okay, never mind then. Yeah, it still was actually pretty solid, but it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, that was a very strong Ridley from you, Drewski. I mentioned that as well.
Yeah, it was a sick fight. I was really happy about that. It was the only time save on my splits, and it was 10 seconds of time save, and I was like, wow, that was almost a gold. That's crazy.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I was really happy with that.
imyt, your lower Narfer escape was a little dicey. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. I thought about getting the E-Tank for a second. Basically, once I saw my early game was like complete shambles. Shockingly, I think I actually started playing a lot better in LN Elevator, which is like the opposite of how I usually play. I felt really
swapped,
different. We did. From LN to end of game, I was like I had some mistakes, but I was kind of happy. But yeah, so I killed Ridley. The fight was like pretty solid, and I like thought about getting the E-Tank for a second because I'm like, well, Drewski's kind of just cooking me, so maybe my chance of winning is him like shambling pretty hard. So maybe I get the E-Tank to be safe. And I was like, nah, let's just go. And yeah, I just like was taking too many hits, and I got so lucky in Key Hunter Shaft. Oh my! I completely messed up the manip because you know when you bomb jump out of that little, morph hallway, and then you jump over that pillar, and then you go into the first key hunter. I just couldn't unmorph because unmorphing is the hardest tech in the game for me.
No.
And I was just like rolling around, and I'm like, well, let's see what happens. And I jump up, and I get completely blasted by the first pirate, and I'm at 49 HP, and I'm like, yep, I'm just gonna close my eyes and jump through the next and just hope they're not in my way. And
Samus takes the
You're
wheel.
so sick, dude.
because I couldn't see them, and actually they were on top of each other, so I didn't even know that the other one was desynced. Like I didn't know that they maniped correctly.
Oh my God,
They
so
were
you-
on each other. So when I jumped, mid-jump, I saw them split up, and I'm like, oh my, we're safe. We're actually good.
That's so sick.
And then for Three Musketeers, I still was in death range. And I'm like, all right, well, I feel really good. I haven't messed Musketeers in a while, but I bonked the door going into Three Musketeers. And I was like, I have no idea how this is going to mess with my manip. I almost thought about like resetting the room.
Yeah.
That would have been a good idea, actually. I wouldn't have.
Yeah,
thought of
I
that.
like really thought about that. And then I was like, I'm just going to go because I don't know how much to speed. And as I'm doing my first jump, I'm like, this is so bad. I don't know what's going to happen. Actually, I'm like super scared. And I just like narrowly dodged them. And then
I wanna
from
go
there, it
watch that.
was fine. I had good resources. Like once I got the health, yeah. So from there, it was fine. But I'm old Emmett would have died in LN. That's all I'm saying. I was much higher variance,
Ooh.
so I'm happy to be able to like complete runs and just not die. I mean, I did get Hunty. I got straight up just 100% lucky in Key Hunter Shaft, though. There was no brilliance behind that. I couldn't get out of morph, skill issue, and then I just like was like, well, I'm leaving it to fate. So
That's a skill of its own. I'm
yeah.
just saying.
From there, my only really rough situation was I'm really comfortable with fighting Fantoon without taking a hit. I completely misread like the loop-de-loop pattern. I thought he was doing like the low pattern where, because I do the missile kill.
Yeah.
You mean Botchwoon?
Botchwoon, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you said Fantoon. Okay.
Oh yeah, whoops, my bad.
I got a little confused
yeah.
there.
One of the
So
Oons.
yeah, one of the Oons. So I got really rattled because I thought Botchwoon was doing a different pattern. I just like kind of choked, and then I got hit, and I was in health bomb range, and then I missed supers. And then I like tried to super when he came back out, and he was super fast, and I was still on the right side. I'm like, oh god, I like need to get to the left side, dude. I'm in so much trouble. Oh my! And I was at like 14 HP, so that was rough. Besides that, it was kind of fine. Dragon was a little dicey, but I still was able to do it.
I had the worst Metroid rooms I've ever done. I just everything is actually Metroid Room 1 and 4 were bad, but 2 and 3 everything was going bad. I lost like 20 seconds.
They were just latching onto you and not coming off.
And like Metroid Room 2, I rolled on a bomb and one of them just stayed on me, and I was like, what?
When I saw your lead, I actually decided to play him. Then you might have been like wondering why I was literally missiling with like 2010 grouping, because I was like, honestly, my win condition here is that Drewski like gets completely destroyed, missile scammed, like baby skipped, latched on. Like I'm like, I'm just gonna make sure I'm like super full. And then I still messed up because I still messed up Metroid Room 4 somehow, and like but it worked out. It was funny. I did hit skip and everything, so that was cool.
That's good.
Yeah, you both had really clean baby skips.
Yeah.
So
I'm not the 3 jump. Like, it's the one thing I will not like succumb to is the 3 jump. Everyone who goes for 3 jumps are like they're psychopaths. I'm
surprised, honestly. You don't go for
a couple weeks ago. I realized what I was doing wrong. That's pretty free again, to be honest.
So I heard.
Here he goes.
I mean, I don't do it, but I think the justification for doing it is, from what I understand, is that you can like kind of react to if it's not going well, and I think that's why it's like good. But I'm a
can
coward,
kind of tell
so
whether you should or should not go for it based on.
I just can't trust. I don't trust myself. I have no faith that I'm gonna like do the right D-pad movements and like. Oh, no.
The only scary part is if the game lags near the end of the room, it can throw off your jump timing, and that can be really bad. But
that's wild.
Well, I want to thank you both for entering the tournament. Drewski, you will be moving on in the bracket. Imyt, unfortunately, this is where you will be taking your leave. But I do really appreciate both of you and your participation. I'm really proud of both of you for your performances, and I'm proud of both of you for the growth that you've shown in the game and in the category over the past year or 2 years.
Thanks, man.
It's been really,
blushing?
really cool to watch.
I'm blushing.
So, Imyt, especially, like, not trying to gush here, but the fact that you can recognize and speak to, old Imyt would have died in that situation. Like, it's a cool thing to be able to look back at your performance in a race like this and be like, hey, like, I am better than I used to be, like,
Yeah, for sure.
And that's a big part of pushing this game in the speedrun sense, I think, is having the right perspective as far as what growth means, because it can mean different things at different times and for different people. So
right.
Anyway.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate that, Zenny, and thank you, man, for you guys running this. That's really cool. I love I love tournaments. You guys know I come from competitive backgrounds a little bit. Not that I get super competitive with this, but I just like the idea of tournaments. I think they're cool. And honestly, this might sound like cope, but Drewski knows this. I'm happy he's moving on. I told Drewski, I was like, dude, run PKRD, grab 5 tanks, just do what you got to do to beat me, man. I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna let you. I was like, I'm not gonna let you win, but like, do what it takes. Do what it takes to beat me. Like, I'm, map randoed out of my mind. Like, I'm not gonna be running low 42s or high 41s. Like, you got to just cook.
You are the Wemby
So I'm happy.
Map randos right now. You're on the up and up.
Oh yeah, it's kind of funny. I've been cooking a little, but I still love any percent the most in reality. But map randos are fun too. But anyways, thank you so much, Zenny. I'm really happy Drewski's moving on. Hope to see Drewski pop off. But yeah, I'm gonna hop off call. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys for commentating too. You and Valerian, you guys, I'm sure, did a great job. So
peace out, guys.
You guys, peace.
Just to close us out here, we do have a couple more races coming up. Not today, but we have one on Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern between Mr. Guy Average and Stasio Cat. And then we also have Raison versus Lynx Unlimited on schedule for Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. So if you are looking for more Super Metroid races, stay tuned because those are coming up. Any last thoughts, Val?
No, it's looking to be a great Super Metroid weekend. I think Imyt gave a good shout out, but I'll reiterate, big shout out to the SGO crew just putting this on. The efficiency that y'all have in organizing all of these amazes me every time I get to see it. But big shout out to the runners as well, putting on great shows. And make sure y'all follow them if you don't, and make sure you're following here.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks, everyone.